Attack on Titan No Requiem is a retelling of the last 3 chapters of AoT, and it has finally released its second part. But does the series actually try to correct aspects of Isayama's own writing, or is it just a fan fiction filled to the brim with fan theories that really just have no weight? And more importantly, is it even worth reading? Today we're going to answer those questions on this episode of Full Stop Review. Hello, I'm Abraham, and thank you so much for watching this episode of Full Stop Review. If you liked the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe because it really just helps to make sure that we are able to make more of these in the future. But enough of that self-promotion. Today we're going to be talking about Attack on Titan. First and foremost, I actually do need to give a bit of context and a disclaimer, I should say. So for those of you that don't know, Attack on Titan finished its manga run earlier this year, and like I said before, people had feelings. Many people expressed their dislike of the ending on Reddit, Twitter, and many other social media platforms. And since that time, a group of fans have banded together with all of their talent to try and correct some of Isayama's ending. So that's pretty much it for the context of AoT No Requiem and why it even exists. But for the disclaimer, there is an argument to be made on whether or not this disrespects the author's intent, or if these fans care so much about the actual project that they would even make it. Frankly, I just don't care to even engage in this debate. The bottom line is that people have put in the hard work and dedication to making this thing, and I think that it's worth criticizing at the very least. If you care to engage in the debate of whether or not this is real or not, do it on your own time, but that's not what this review is for. And now for my rating, which I actually have to give first because you can't even really talk about this project without spoiling all of Attack on Titan. So I'm gonna put my review, non-spoiler review in the beginning before I actually delve into spoilers. This is gonna go ahead and get a green light from me. Now, if you're somebody who hates the original ending for Attack on Titan, you might look at this and think, oh my God, this is the best piece of media I've ever consumed in my life. But if you're someone who actually likes the original ending, if I'm being honest, there might be some things in this that you might like. For nothing else, I would say to enjoy this for the art and for the just frankly novelty of it. There's some really nice artwork actually, and a lot of it does resemble Isayama's work, but there might be some dialogue choices that you might not vibe with, and you might not vibe with the direction of the story, but still, it's a novelty. I would still recommend it. So with that out of the way, we are now in spoiler territory. If you have not read Attack on Titan No Requiem, and frankly, all of Attack on Titan, what are you even doing here? Get out of here. Go read it. Go read it, or wait for the anime to come in January. Okay, so now that r/Titanfolk is left, let's go ahead and get into my actual review. What do I think of AoT No Requiem? It was okay. And it was just okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was just it was just there. It was okay. Like I said in the spoiler-free review, there are a lot of things to like in Attack on Titan No Requiem. If you're looking for a replacement for Isayama's original ending, I don't think that this is it. I think that there are a lot of ideas that are great that should have been in the original ending, but the execution just kind of falls flat for me. Let's start with the thing that I love the most in this whole chapter. Armin. Okay, so actually, Armin is like a G in this. I love his character in No Requiem more so than I do in Isayama's original ending. And that's something that is actually pretty infuriating for someone who has defended the original ending in the past. You know, in the original, there was never really a point where Eren and Armin's ideals really clashed. And I think that those two characters are the ones that exemplify the themes and the controlling idea that is Attack on Titan. It makes sense why Armin is angry with him, and it was a really smart choice to have the conflict of ideals take center stage in No Requiem. It's one of the strongest parts of the entire chapter, and if for nothing else, you should read it for that. But Armin isn't perfect. You see, while I like the idea of putting these two characters together in a more fervent and a more vicious back and forth, I don't really like the execution. Frankly, it's because of the dialogue. Oftentimes it sounds like Armin is speaking like the writer as opposed to Armin the character, and that can really take me out of the story. Given how the entire thing is a reaction to the original Attack on Titan, I can understand the need to want to loudly and clearly exclaim that this is not the same Armin. You know, the one who thanked Eren for committing genocide against the whole world? I'm sorry, That actually, like, that's the worst part of the original ending. But he didn't really sound like himself, so it just kind of took me out of the whole thing. But I do appreciate the fact that they put in this dynamic and they made it the forefront of the entire chapter. All right, so that's it with the positives, because now we got to talk about the one, the only, the committer of genocide, Eren Yeager. Oh man, I don't even know what to say about this character, because the whole thing is an enigma. So let me go ahead and get my bias out of the way. I didn't hate the original ending. I know, calm down, don't pitchforks away, don't do that. I think that a lot of the ideas in the original ending, given more time and more explanation, could have worked, but there were always choices that did worry me. Armin's whole attitude is the main one. In the original ending, though I didn't like the way that it was executed, I liked the idea that Eren wasn't even in control of the founding Titan. In the original, it's ironic that the person who's screaming and raving about freedom is actually a slave to the power that they hold. But now Eren kind of just is doing it because he wants to do it, which is a little less compelling if I'm being honest. Now I have to reserve some judgment. This is not done. There's gonna be more parts coming out, and hopefully they can show more of Eren's POV that can show this shift in demeanor. But as it stands, I would be lying if I said that I loved the direction that Eren is going right now. And who knows, I could end up loving the way that Eren turns out in No Requiem, but I really need to see more before I make that final call. And last but certainly not least, let's run through all of the flashbacks. If I'm being honest, they were kind of hit or miss. I didn't need some of them. Some of them were great, and then I just didn't know what was happening in another. So let's first talk about the Eren and Historia stuff, because that's the one that I just hate the most. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I hate this romance so much. It is cringy when Isayama does it, and it's cringy when fan fiction writers do it. Nobody can make Attack on Titan and romance work. I'm sorry, I don't buy this thing. When Isayama tried to shoehorn in Mikasa and Eren's romance in the last 2 chapters of AoT, I didn't really like that. And now they're trying to do the same thing with Eren and Historia in No Requiem, and I hate that too. And it's treated as this like huge reveal while Armin is looking into Eren's past memories, and he like shoots away and says, "Does Mikasa know?" As if I even care. And again, just like Eren, I'm gonna need to see where this goes, because if that whole fan theory about him using like a power cord while he's in paradise and he and Historia have the child together and then he restarts the rumbling, kills all his friends, if that's the ending, like sure, then I mean maybe in execution I would like that, but I don't know, man. Again, just like Eren, we're gonna have to wait and see. But I'm worried. The other one that I felt was poorly done was the Hanji, Eren, and Historia flashback. There's a scene where Eren and Historia are touching hands together with Hanji nearby. Historia says anything and Eren says nothing, assuming that they're trying to restart or link back up so that they can activate Eren's past memories. The problem is we're not really given a lot of context as to when this happens or why this is so important. Usually Isayama gives us dialogue that gives us a clue into where we are in the story. And that's especially the case if we're in a flashback in a place that we've never been before. And for my best guess, this is after Eren touched Historia's hand back in season 3, but that's just a guess. It could really be anywhere in those 4 years before the attack on Marley. And even if this was after that hand touch in season 3, doesn't that kind of ruin the reveal in the Path Realm with Eren and Zeke? Because I thought the whole point of that memory was that he told no one about it. Not just the contents of the memories, but the fact that he had gotten memories at all. Doesn't that kind of ruin the whole thing of Eren just waiting and seeing to see what happens, kind of standing on the sidelines and waiting for the right opportunity to strike? Regardless, if more flashbacks are going to be used in the future, we need more context in order to understand where we are in the story and why it's important. Because as I see it, you could really just cut this out and nothing would change. And then the last flashback is the scene between Eren and Flock. Oh my god, the scene I didn't know I needed. Seriously, Eren and Flock, their conversation is actually very surprising. Flock basically calls Eren's bluff when he tells him that he's going to destroy the entire world. And he makes a callback to the decision to bring back Armin instead of Erwin. Something that is, it's just, why wasn't that in the original? Because it totally makes sense that Flock would not trust Eren with this plan. I don't want to gush too much, but just know, good addition. More of that. So those are my thoughts on Attack on Titan, No Requiem. what did you think of this fan fiction chapter manga, whatever this is called? Is there something that I should have covered? Let me know, and I would love to hear what you think about it in the comment section down below. And also, do you think that I'm wrong in any of my opinions? I would love to get into internet fights with you down in the comments. And if you want to check out our rewatch of Attack on Titan leading up to Season 4 Part 2, you can check it out right here in this corner tab, right over here. You can just go ahead and click that. I don't know if my hand was even in frame. It's somewhere over here. Just click a button. Click any button. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Abraham Bogali. Have a good one.